Our bodies are designed to go through millions of movement cycles. The best example of this would be during locomotion. Whether you walk, run, or jump, each time you move, the joints in your body work as a series of interconnected hinges and levers, allowing it to exert force and change position. Nevertheless, the body functions as a single unit, so if you disturb one component of the kinetic chain, it can throw the entire system off kilter. While we are extremely resilient to stress, over time, improper movement causes us to burn through those millions of movement cycles at an accelerated rate. And from a biomechanical perspective, performing regular tasks with minimal to no load may not necessarily cause an acute injury, but if you sustain a load or you repetitively load a joint over the course of years and months improperly, the simplest of tasks such as bending down to pick up a pencil may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. From past experience, one of the most common movement faults I see in the gym, whether that being with young athletes, elderly populations, or your everyday average gym goer, is the knee valgus, or to put it technically, internal knee rotation during hip flexion. Contrary to popular belief, a knee valgus is not caused by medial tension on the joint from overdevelopment of the vastus medialis or underdevelopment of the vastus lateralis, considering neither of those muscles actually cross over the hip joint. While quadricep muscle imbalances can lead to other problems such as improper tracking of the patella, leading to increased tension on the meniscus due to poor joint stabilization, the knee valgus fault is an issue that primarily originates from the glutes, since the glutes are the primary hip abductors and hip stabilizers. Gluteus minimus and medius are primary hip stabilizers, and their function is to oppose lateral pelvic tilt during the swing phase of bipedal locomotion. While both these muscles also produce internal and external hip rotation in addition to hip abduction, the primary hip extensor is gluteus maximus. This is where glute dysfunction comes into play. If you're an individual who works a desk job or someone who spends the majority of their time sedentary in a seated position, the glutes become stretched since we know that they're elongated when in a flexed hip position. Excessive time spent in a statically stretched position can lead to a decrease in the muscle's ability to contract, since it's been proven through numerous studies that static stretching decreases force output, balance, reaction time, and movement time, thus a decrease in performance. While having good flexibility is not necessarily a bad thing, there is a Goldilocks zone when it comes to joint range of motion. In the case of the glutes, where people spend so much time in a seated, flexed hip position, we need to do everything we can to counteract the effects of static stretching on the gluteal muscles. In a 2015 study by Choi et al., they analyzed how isometric hip abduction using a Thera-Band, or hip circle, alters gluteus maximus activity during a bridge exercise. Through EMG comparison, the results indicated that using the Thera-Band to create isometric tension in the frontal plane while performing a glute bridge, which involves movement in the sagittal plane, increases activity in the glutes. Therefore, a strong recommendation would be to implement a resisted glute bridge exercise into your glute training. In addition, in a 2015 study by Barry et al., they analyzed the effect of posture on hip abductor activation during resisted side stepping. The results determined that resisted hip abduction in the squat position illustrated the highest EMG activity when compared to a standing position. Therefore, it would be a strong recommendation also to implement banded monster walks while in an isometric squat position into your training program. Through a combination of these exercises, we are able to target abduction and extension of the hip isometrically and dynamically, allowing for activation of the glutes in its various functional capabilities. These exercises are also a great tool for pre-activation, since it provides tension, allowing you to feel the glutes contract without exhausting the muscle completely prior to a heavy squat or deadlift session. The other great thing about the glute bridge and monster walk is that you're able to perform these exercises at home or at the office, giving you the flexibility to train the glute muscles anywhere at any time. Any questions you have on the current topic, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Or if you'd like to read through any of the research used in the making of this video, feel free to check out these studies in the description box below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.